So I got a couple stories here from BoundingTheComics.com. Netflix finds the cure, cancels live-action Resident Evil series after one season. Not surprising, the show fucking sucked, basically. Anyway, following the footsteps of the streamer's bastardization of Cowboy Bebop, Netflix's live-action Resident Evil series have been canceled after just one widely panned seasons. Now, I really like Lance Reddick. He is fucking incredible. Now, and I understand the whole controversy. They race swapped him and his Wesker and stuff. Even setting that aside, even if you're like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. The fact is, it's a bad show, just bad. Anyway, the decision was made based on the discovery that the drama did not have a particularly strong showing on Netflix's top 10, and cost versus viewing is the streamer's leading renewal criterion. It's from Deadline. As explained by Deadline, though Resident Evil debuted in the wake of Stranger Things' fourth season, Netflix had hoped that word of mouth would help contribute to an eventual surge in viewership for the fledgling action horror series. However, this is not to be, as the Lance Reddick cosplaying his Blade-led series fell out of the streamer's top 10 rankings after just 3 weeks, never to return. There he is. Basically, he's kind of arguing with himself. It's complicated. If you've seen the show, then you'd be like, ugh, this part. But anyway, another notable factor in its cancellation was the fact Resident Evil also failed to find any love amongst viewers, both those who are fans of the original games and those who went into the series blind. On the tomato meter, it had a 55 from the critics, which, is not good, and a 27 from the general audience, from the user score, or whatever you want to call it. Metacritic holds a 53 out of 10, or out of 100 from the critics, and a 1.4 out of 10 from the viewers. That's fucking terrible. Anyway. And then it goes on and talks about some of the other film series, stories, yada, stuff. Then it talks about what the actual story was of this, fucking thing. It wasn't, because they were juggling a couple timelines, and it has to do with a bunch of shit and stuff, and it just wasn't Resident Evil. Basically, that was the big thing. It's like, it wasn't Resident Evil. Even if you set aside the race swapping of Wesker, it didn't feel like a Resident Evil game. I don't understand why in the world it's that hard. Resident Evil should be one of those franchises that is incredibly easy to make a video game or adaptation into a movie out of. It's very easy, because the Resident Evil story, part batshit crazy, part just horror. You just have a bunch of horror in there, even if some of the stuff isn't making full sense. But whatever, it's just. I don't know, it's just one of those things. I'll link this in the description box if you happen to read it for yourself. But the other story is Red Sonja ditches the race swap, casts Matilda Lutz as title heroine under Solomon Kane director. They talk about a particularly surprising move given the current direction of Hollywood and comic book adaptations in particular. Millennium Media have backtracked on their plans to race swap Red Sonja for upcoming solo film. There's a nice looking picture, of her fighting. Basically, following the exit of Ant-Man and the Wasp star Hannah John-Kamen from the role earlier this year due to scheduling conflicts, the iconic red-headed warrior is now set to be portrayed by Revenge and a classic horror story star Matilda Lutz. There she is. Should be joined on screen by Wallace Day, played Kit Kane, Batwoman season 2 and 3. But basically, going into the story, I'll link this as well. But I don't want to make this video super long because, quite frankly, it's like it'll be a while before these movies come on. Or before this movie comes out, I should say. They also confirmed that previous reports that the film has found a new director, officially revealing that Solomon Kane's MJ Bassett will be taking the reins from previous Homer, the non-binary identifying and self-declared feminist Joey Soloway. Which is a good thing, because, whatever. Who notably replaced Bryan Singer in the role after he was hit in 2019 with his latest lawsuit to accuse him of having sexually assaulted a number of underage boys. However, Soloway is still credited as a writer. Basically, they kind of talk about, I'm so excited, and all this kind of stuff. Matilda's going to do a great job, which is awesome. I mean, you always love to hear that stuff. It's you kind of expect it, despite some of the dopes who want to try to attack, the properties almost and be like, hey, we're changing things and this and that. You expect the writer and the director and so on and such forth to be excited about it. But it's always nice when it does happen, because the way things are now is like, what the fuck. But anyway, the Red Sonja movie, That's another thing that should be pretty easy to make into a at least watchable movie. It may not like hit all the notes for longtime fans, but a hot chick kicking ass, you know, I mean, sword fighting and stuff. It shouldn't be as hard to make as some of these people make it out to be. You know, they act like it's fucking this impossible task. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Cautiously optimistic on this one, I would say, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.